Great. So, how's the smoking been and the urges since last week?
I've smoked a lot.
Uh-huh.
A lot, yeah. I smoked on the weekend. I smoked last night. Yeah.
How did that feel? How were you before? What was that like?
So Friday, I had a couple of ciggies, I had a couple of beers just on the roof with my housemate, and I'd really worked. We spoke on, we spoke the Wednesday, and that day, I had a lot of energy that normally I'd want to have, like I said, the drink and the cigarette to kind of ground me. And I wanted to actually, and I didn't do that for like 2-3 days. And then on the Friday, it was really overwhelming again. And then I had a couple of beers and cigarettes. And then I woke up the next day and I thought, I feel like that's allowed it to pass. And then, it was just a lovely day on Saturday. I was up on the roof, and I mean, just that pattern of, having a really lovely time, a couple of drinks at Saturday and some cigarettes. And then last night I went out and had a beer with my friend, and then we came back and I had some wine with my housemate, and I smoked again. And when I was out with my friend, she smoked all the time, and I was thinking, if she offered me a ciggy now, she got a ciggy that I wouldn't have one, and I knew I wouldn't. I felt a little bit more empowered, but the minute we got back and we had a few wines, and I was even smoking cigarettes that I don't really like last night. Yeah, so it feels, I feel irritated about it.
Uh-huh.
I feel so disempowered against them.
Do you feel more determined to clear it?
I do feel really, I just can't, I guess I just don't see it's ever going to happen.
Uh-huh.
It's the truth, and that feels really disempowering to me, because I know that's not the truth.
Yeah.
I know that's not the truth. But I feel almost like I guess I feel like if I had a client, they would say, there's just no point in working on this, it's like, this is never gonna change. I can't understand. And I know I felt this way about other ways of thinking about myself, or situations, like, just won't ever, I just don't see how it can change. I don't see how I could ever be with people or in any of these situations where I'm triggered into wanting to smoke.
And what does that feel like, that thought?
I feel sad about it. I feel weak, very weak. There's definitely the power and weak.
Power struggle.
Into a lot of it, how it feels. I just do not feel I have the power over. They have such power over me. That voice of them. Even the drinking. I mean, they're definitely tied in to get. I mean, I don't have, actually. It's not true in terms of like, I'm like, oh, I need to drink. It's not that. But in terms of getting maybe tied into the drinking within certain circumstances, like last night, I probably shouldn't have had more than one glass of wine, and I definitely was like, probably shouldn't have didn't really want to share a bottle, just over a bottle, I could have just had one and said no, but I was just within that flow of it, and the smoking was that. As I didn't have my own cigarettes as well, the ones I like. I was smoking cigarettes I didn't even enjoy. I didn't enjoy them last night. I feel.
So, in my experience, there's always a kind of resurgence of whatever it is you want to clear. It's like darkest hour is the one before dawn. Just like push through this little bit. It's that last bit of resistance. So we'll see if we can bring your power back today. We're not going to put any pressure on any result. We're just going to go.
I know I have on Saturday when I know my housemate. I know Saturday's environment. My housemate's DJing live. A friend might come over and I know I want to enjoy that vibe. But I don't want to. Everybody smokes. So God.
Okay.
It's great to not do it. Yeah.
Okay. So what does that disempowerment feel like, and that power struggle? What does it feel like in your body?
Feels like a weight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels like a pressure on the same. I guess this is what we looked at last week, wasn't it?
Mm.
It's pushing me down.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's start there. Just hands over your heart and tuning into this heaviness pushing you down. What sort of emotion is in this weight? Is it a sadness, an anxiety, anger? What's it feel like?
I get a feeling of loss.
Mm-hmm.
Grieving a little bit. I feel quite a lot of grief that I have got to hand myself over in this moment.
Mm. There's always a grieving in any relationship, but this is a relationship that you're clearing and trying to let go of.
But more, it's like not grieving for, well, I suppose a grieving of handing over a cigarette, but the pressure feels like a loss of the self.
Mm-hmm.
Like when this pressure comes and I have to respond, I give myself up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's too powerful, it's too big almost.
Yeah. Okay. And I have to lose myself in those moments and then what I am, really.
So let's start breathing in an energy or a colour that's going to help to reclaim that power. What colour do you need right now?
Red, like real fiery red.
Lovely. Great. So breathing that in through your head, down into your body, into your chest, into this heavy weight, and hands over your heart, and repeating after me, all this heaviness.
All this heaviness.
I feel disempowered.
I feel weak and disempowered. I have no power.
No power. I feel all this grief.
I feel this grief and sadness that I don't have any choice in this matter. I've got no choice.
I feel like I've lost myself.
Yeah, I have to hand myself over.
I have to hand myself over to this power. Choosing to let it go.
Yeah, I find that difficult.
Okay, great. So I'm just looking at this weight in my body.
Just looking at this weight in my body.
I'm just looking at my relationship with cigarettes.
Looking at my relationship with cigarettes.
And with alcohol.
And with alcohol.
And this feeling that it's almost not worth even trying.
Yeah, it's just not worth trying. Just need to give up and make this change.
It's too big. It's too powerful. I can't change this.
It's too much of the battle is so exhausting every time. So the willpower battle.
Yeah. I can't win, is that right?
Yeah, I'll never win.
I'll never win this powerful battle.
Never win.
I'm just looking at all of this.
I'm just looking, it's the battle I don't want.
Yeah. I want it to be easy and...
Yeah, and I know it can be.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have that experience.
Done it before, yeah.
I have that experience with food and with my body.
So what's been the key in shifting in the past?
Years and years of work. Years of work, and I never thought I could feel that way about food and my body or myself. I never believed that I could be in a point of acceptance and genuinely feel okay about things. Obviously I have a few moments with things, but I don't
fundamentally you've made that shift.
I'm not in the pain battle of hatred anymore, and I know that has changed. So
can you borrow some of that feeling that I know I've shifted other things?
Yeah, there's resistance to it.
Right. What does resistance feel like? Really tune into that resistance and tap through the points and breathe and just really make that resistance as big as you can. Where is that in your body?
It's like a creeping energy coming up, taking over my heart.
Okay, all this resistance.
Takes me away. These cigarettes just completely take me away from who I am, and the drinking.
Yeah.
The excessive drinking, not drinking, but the booziness. Both of these habits that I just have done since I was like 13.
Yeah.
It's really, I know I just can't, it's this real thing of like, I don't want to fight anymore. I just don't. And I know a lot of people think that when you do this, it's about you claiming it's like, I know it sounds weird. It's like, I don't want to have the power. It's not the power that I want. I don't want to fight.
Yeah.
I just don't want this thought to come up.
Yeah.
I don't want that internal battle. And I know you don't have to do it. And know that that's not the way to quit something, is that suddenly you can stand up. It's that actually the thought just doesn't come to you any longer.
Yeah, it's easy. It flows.
It just is. You suddenly go, you know, oh, I let that person have the last slice of pizza without being like crippled with anxiety about having that bit. And that's the same. I know I could sit amongst friends and then we'll smoke, and it would be like, oh, I just haven't considered.
You're not smoking today. Yeah. So how can we get into ease and flow? So just moving. So it's what you put your attention on when you feel the fight, and let's move away from the fight and into ease, into allowing.
Because I feel empty. So the cigarettes fill up. I think we said this last week. The feeling of they fill me up. The drink, the boot. I call it booziness. It's not drink. Boozy moments with friends and cigarettes fill me up. They complete a missing part of me. I don't feel full up, and so when I have those experiences, especially with friends, it's really beautiful. Actually, feel love. I feel love.
Let's bring some of that love into this whole. It's just allowing that in, just bringing your attention to the love and that feeling of being filled, filling that void. And as you say, it's like, I'm not going to really fight against this. I'm just going to choose something else. I'm going to choose that I've done it. I'm going to choose that I've got there. I'm going to choose that I'm enough, that I'm full.
It's like they complete a missing part of me.
So what would it feel like if you didn't have that missing part? If that missing part was an illusion?
I am enough. That Marissa Peer comment actually has come up a lot.
Let's just focus on that. I am enough.
I think this came up last week as well about brown people needing to smoke to be enough to meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
I am enough. Yeah, that's quite
You really feel that? Yeah. So it's just allowing that enough, I'm enough feeling. You don't even have to fight that in. It's just breathing. I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
Yeah, as I am enough.
Yeah.
Myself without anything else.
I don't need anything.
Bit weird. It feels like it's almost there.
And
I think that's the thing. It always feels like it's almost there, and then I just step away from fully. I mean, to feel like I was enough would transform every aspect of my life. I know it would. I feel like I'm enough now in my work that I do. That's there.
Yeah.
A few other things in relationships that I feel like I'm enough in my body, and so like enough. Yeah, this other aspect of it is tricky. I am enough. Feel this like full heart chest sound.
Okay, so let's just breathe through that. I'm enough. I am enough.
It's safe. About being safe.
It's safe to be enough.
Being just completely myself. I don't like that word. To be who.
Just being.
Being this. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, be myself. I don't think that's it.
Just to be.
Just be. This. To just be Hayley. Yeah, be Hayley.
Just allowing that being into your chest, into this resistance, into this emptiness, and back into your past, and just using that energy, that feeling of not enough, or the feeling of the space, and allow your mind to float back with that feeling to a time where you may have felt that before, that not enough. Where do we need to go to heal and release this old pattern?
Back to being a child again.
3, did you say?
3,
yeah. And seeing yourself there. Where is she? What do you see?
This sense, it's the same picture. I think it's stood in the hallway, and I'm like, I think I'm waiting for my dad to come home in the hall, like knowing the rough time. It feels like it's dinner time, and like it's just not coming back. And I think I've been here before.
Yeah.
Been here a few days.
Okay.
Not coming back.
Okay, so stepping in, connecting with that little you. Tell her you've come from the future. You've come to help her. How's she feeling right now?
Really lost. She's sad, and she can't really verbalize. I can sense that from her. She can't ask the questions, and she's too scared to ask. Mum says it's because of you. She just thinks.
Okay, so let's start tapping with her. Bring a colour in for her. You might want to hold her, talk to her. Just gently tapping. What is she feeling in her body? Where does she feel that fear?
She feels panic. Panic. She's like, I've done something. I must have done something.
Okay.
Something wrong. I should have been more.
Okay. So you can see that same dynamic. So tapping with her, all this panic.
What I am isn't enough.
All this panic, not enough.
It's real, like, the panic is making her like jittery in her chest. I want to like jump up and down.
Yeah.
It's like too much. The energy is too much. Of like, this is real. This is not a worry, and then it's a worry.
Didn't become anything. Yeah, this is an actual event that happened. Very real feeling. Let's bring it. What colour would help her just to start to move through that feeling?
Blue, baby blue.
Lovely. So breathe in that lovely baby blue energy. And if it feels appropriate, you could bring your dad's energy in. That help her?
Yeah, receiving.
Just allow them to connect. Because what's the truth about that?
It's not her fault. She made like a decision, I think, to disconnect. There's this real disconnection. And because she thinks it's her fault, so she's trying to disconnect from everyone else.
Okay.
She won't be fully there anymore. She holds a bit back, and maybe other people will be safer.
Okay.
Her fault.
So allowing that feeling, that panic, that tension, all of that energy. Does that move down through her body and out? Does it come up and out? What's happening with that feeling?
She's in a place of acceptance now.
Lovely.
Not coming back.
Great.
But then that's when the decision was made then to cut off a part of herself, so she wouldn't let anyone else love her. Or that's that real feeling of when I smoke, it is a real feeling of full up love. I feel full up. It's like that part of my heart is all missing. So that's what brings it.
So if we could, what needs
feel full up?
Yeah.
Any other time, I just don't feel that. I actually know it's like a quite true thing. I just don't feel safe to.
Well, if that part of you has shut that down from that age of 3.
Yeah.
So what could help her to reconnect?
Like something needs to go into her heart. Like something maybe.
Can her father's energy help with that? Something that she needs to ask him or say to him?
I was just asking how she should let people love her. She doesn't really know, because it feels a bit like she let him love her. She feels silly because she didn't question his love and adoration for her. And she now thinks that she should have, because then it would have made him think, and then maybe he wouldn't have died.
What can he tell her about that?
He's saying it's not her fault, but she's like, it just has to be my fault. Otherwise you wouldn't have, doesn't really make sense. It's like there is no other way. There has to be an explanation for what happened. And that has to be me.
Why does it have to be her?
What else is there? She must, because she's the one that messes. She's the one whose fault it is. It feels like it's wanting to take me back to another.
Great, let's do that. Just follow that energy.
Being like a real baby.
There's
something about it being my fault. I think that my parents are arguing, stood over me.
Okay.
It's my fault. I think I don't know. I feel like I'm having my nappy changed or something. I can see myself in not a cot, but like a small bed cot thing. I don't know what it is. Maybe about the chair. And I think they are disagreeing about something. And I'm waiting to have my nappy changed.
Okay.
I know I'm waiting. I can see he's waiting. And then it feels like whatever I've just done, maybe because I need a man, I don't know, nappy change, that was the cause of.
Yeah. Okay, so freezing that picture and stepping in, connecting with that little you. And again, you can just start tapping with her or breathing in a colour for her. Starting to release that feeling. How's she doing?
I feel like there was a lot of I felt safe, and then it made me question my safety.
Mm-hmm.
I thought everything just was as it is. I hadn't questioned, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like, oh, sometimes not everything is just as it is. But not everything is always going to be the same. I think I felt a lot of love, a lot of admiration. Yeah, that's that feeling of like feeling full up.
Yeah.
I was just safe to just be myself.
Uh-huh.
So I was safe to just be.
Yeah.
To just be. I could just be. That's that real. Such the things like not being myself. It's just to be in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And this moment of seeing Margarine made me completely understand that life changes,
Mm-hmm.
and that things aren't just always that same way. And I felt shocked, really shocked. She feels like a bit like eyes are kind of like, oh my, like the shock, the hearing those words.
Yeah.
Was a real actual shock moment for her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now the world is a vastly different place now. Yeah.
Okay, so in that moment, suddenly she had this change, this shift
Of seeing the world in a different place. It's not safe.
Mm-hmm.
If the world isn't safe, yeah, it's definitely. And so then she had to stop. There's something about the expectation that it's not safe to expect people love her. She has to be something more. She has to do something now to try and get their attention. Not attention, like as such, like I want your attention. To keep them loving her.
Uh-huh. So they've stopped loving her for being her. Now she's got to make up for it. She's got to do something
More to connect with them.
Yeah.
So interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. I know. Something like.
Yes, I've got to now. So this is it. It's not safe to just be me. I have to do something to connect with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to mirror a behavior in some way, and to keep this point, keep the love there.
Yeah.
Keep this flow.
Wow. So you can really see that dynamic with cigarettes, alcohol, people, friends. It's amazing, isn't it? I need something external, something that they do.
Yeah. I mean, so even, and I think now, how could I have experienced last night differently? Could we have had fun? Will they? Of course, my housemate would still want to jump if there is, and this is definitely a play out in my thing. I have to change my behaviour so I don't want other people to feel uncomfortable around me.
Yeah.
So I get this a lot, that people feel uncomfortable. I know people feel uncomfortable around me because of the work that I do. And I know people often think I'm a good idea and I'm really lovely for them as positive Hayley. And then because it makes them start to question their selves, because they see all the other stuff I do just to try and support myself. It makes them feel uncomfortable. And I'm not as much of a good idea anymore. People
wow. So you can really see
that people really, I'm a great idea at first, and then I become an irritant because I know I make people question just from getting up. What have we done? I've already been up for like 3 hours doing my practice because I know I have to do that.
Yeah.
And I do that, and then I let myself. I do feel like I let myself down usually, but then almost as a way to not make them feel. I feel so responsible for other people's happiness. I feel so responsible for it. I really think I am again, this comes back to the same thing. I'm responsible for making. I mean, it just ties in with everything. It makes me think about myself.
Absolutely.
suicide, and taking on this role of, and so to make people feel more comfortable around me, and to ensure that we have this flow of love, this flow of connection, I have to mirror and smoke and get boozy. Drink it. It's not. I know it's keep saying it's not the drinking that's the issue. It's the booziness.
So,
the boozy. Yeah.
The way you do it. The way.
Going two drinks over. But I don't feel comfortable to remember after one or two drinks that I don't want to, because I suddenly fall into this place of complete connection and love. My heart is swelling from love, the connection that I feel, and the love that I feel in this beautiful experience I have when we're all chatting, and I feel so loved, and I feel at home and at ease, and then who am I?
You get those feelings that you're wanting.
Yeah, and that's,
so it's worked, hasn't it?
I mean, that's the whole. Yeah, it does. I feel full up. I feel connected. I feel like people like me. I feel, and then if I just suddenly said, "I'm not going to have one more," oh, what are you not? And other people start to feel uncomfortable. Well, she doesn't, she's not really drinking. She's not getting boozy with it. I know it's not the truth because I've done it before. I have.
Yeah, people don't really notice they're doing their own thing.
London.
Yeah, but your perception is that they feel like that.
But I say this to other people: you're not responsible for other people's happiness.
Absolutely,
definitely.
So, how can you give all that to that little you? So she's the one who made the decision that she wasn't enough. Somehow she had to compensate. She had to do something else. How can you help her?
That feeling of being responsible for other people's happiness.
Yeah. Really. What would her parents say to her at that time about their happiness? Oh, you've just frozen. So I hope you're coming back.
Okay. Yeah, so I just...
Great, so we're back.
She is like...
Technical difficulty. So she has that little tiny you.
She just feels very sad.
Okay.
And she feels she shouldn't make this about her. She wants to say, have I done something wrong? But then she's like, she feels like it's not her place. She feels like it's not her place to ask that question. Why are you trying to make it about you? There's that whole stop being so self-important kind of thing. To interrupt them, let them do what they want to do. But she, and also there is this kind of, I can see it in two ways. This side of my mum being devastated at the thought that she would have upset me, and my dad. But I just know that would really have upset my mum to know that this was upsetting me. But then there's this sense of, why are you making this about you? And
what would you say to her? This tiny, tiny little you, experiencing for the first time. Yeah.
Thing in her heart.
Yeah.
Two things grinding together.
Yeah.
Feels like
really tight and conflicted.
Yeah, confliction. Conflicted, that's the word.
Okay, so breathing in a colour and energy, it's going to start to smooth and relax, because what's going on with her parents is nothing to do with her.
And this is the feeling. This is what I don't want to. This is when I say go to war. It's this confliction, conflicted feeling of. I mean, I'm not trying to give excuses, but it genuinely is. If I don't take on these behaviours, something really terrible is going to happen.
For that little you, her world was ending in that moment, wasn't it? Her parents, who are everything to her.
Like, the world will fall apart, I'll die, no one will ever love me again. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If I don't take this moment to experience this feeling of love and connection, I won't have it again. So I don't want to lose that. I don't want to not have that feeling anymore.
No.
It feels really
just
like
something with her. Yeah.
This just like, come on, just this moment, because let me have this moment of love. Like, what? Yeah, I really feel a bit like, don't take that away from me. Like, please. I feel like quite beggy. Like,
okay, so breathing. Where do you feel that begging feeling, that sort of need?
Like a pulling from my heart down into my tummy.
So tapping with her.
Yeah, real, please don't take this away from me.
All this conflict. Just breathing into that and tapping with her, tapping to the points. It's just an energy, just a feeling. This conflict, maybe she's feeling parents' conflict.
The conflict goes, the lightness that will come back. Because that's what it is I feel light. I feel good. Yeah. Genuinely. So actually, interestingly, often when I feel like crap, I go for, very occasionally I'll go, and actually I don't tend to, I'm not like unless I'll go to a mate's house and glass wine and talk about something crappy that happened, but I'm not really like fall into not anymore, go into the booze and ciggies because I feel like shit and I want something to make. That's not how I am. It often is this not wanting that feeling to go, to end. So I feel good. Yeah. Feel excited. I'm with my mates. Maybe I haven't even had a drink or a cigarette or anything.
Yeah. Feeling that connection.
Then the conflict comes, and then I feel like crap. So I don't want that conflict. I want to stay on that high vibe. Yeah. So how do I do that? Just by having a cigarette and continuing to be boozy.
So what's the alternative in that moment?
To trust that it will carry on.
Well, even when you're feeling the conflict, that connection is still there. It's like, where do I put my attention? Because even though you feel a conflict, that's just an emotion. It's a feeling. It's the same as anything else, but some of them feel so powerful that it's like, I don't know how I can ever get rid of this. But like you have with other aspects, like I could let go of that, I can let go of that, but this is going to really get me.
And that's like, there's two ways that conflict can go, is by me not having the conflict or having the cigarette and be boozy. And I don't know how, and that's why I'm like, the conflict I don't want.
So let's reclaim your power from the conflict, because that little tiny you is not her conflict.
Yes.
It's her parents. So let's put them in a bubble. It's really good. Really feel it and tap with it.
These two.
So she can really feel their energies. They both love her. And now they're in conflict. She's feeling that conflict within her.
And then, so there's this sense of like, I can see me saying, this is upsetting me. And then my mum being upset at my dad. She blames herself, but she's going to be like, you started this argument and now look. That I don't want her to be.
So that kind of draws you in as well, doesn't it? Look what you've done to her. That, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but I don't want my dad to be.
No,
I don't want to be dad, because I want to say
absolutely
to her that she doesn't have much long left with him.
Yeah.
So I don't really want
have that conversation with them both. You can step in as your present day and have that conversation. You can talk on behalf of that little you, the little baby. You could communicate that. Whatever feels right, just allow that. You might bring in communication as an energy. You might bring in a mediator for them. Could be a person or an animal.
It's just like, I just want my mum to know that I don't want to have to tell her. It's like, I know this secret. He's going to die. And, so I don't want to. I don't know, maybe if he knows. I don't know if he knows or not, but.
So maybe at the deepest level they know. But that's not your responsibility either. What it is that you want to feel good in this moment.
but it's this feeling of I don't want to ruin the moment, and I don't want to I was like, I know the truth, and I'm now responsible for other people, for her happiness.
Okay.
There's this feeling that, like, what I can say to her, I feel like I should tell her or tell them both, because just holding on to this knowing is really heavy.
Yeah.
That's a feeling. It's partly me and partly the baby now knows.
Yeah.
I suppose she knows now, and it's like,
so
they're not letting my mum lose the connection.
So let's leave, freezing mum's connection is mum's responsibility, dad's connection is dad's responsibility. The best way for her to help them, that you to help them, is for her to focus on her connection. There's nothing more important than her feeling good.
She feels sad.
Okay.
She feels the heavy.
Working through that sadness. What does the sadness feel like?
Heaviness in her heart.
Okay, so really focusing on that sadness, that heaviness.
Weak.
Very weak. Those same feelings again that you had right at the beginning of the session. So really,
the weight of knowing, the weight of this information is too much.
Yeah.
The weight of the power that she has to change this situation, the weight of the knowledge, the power. She knows that she has a power in this moment. Whatever choice she makes about telling them, whether or not it's about my dad dying, or whether it's that it's this real feeling that she could alter their experiences by saying, you're upsetting me, and then that's a really big power, because at the minute that's another worry that she'll create. So there's this weight, the weight of the power that she knows she has to control their happiness.
Let's shift and lift that weight. Notice what that feels like in her body. Starting to clear. Where does she feel that weight? Is that in her chest too, like it was in you?
Yeah, it's like a all body. It's a heart and a tummy kind of feeling, really.
Yeah. Breathing in, tapping with her all this heaviness.
It's like the power is too much. She realizes she does something I even now. I hate making people feel bad. I really hate it. Like, saying things that I put up with a lot of behaviour because I wouldn't want anyone to ever feel ashamed or question themselves. I hate it when people do that to me. Almost purposely, I've now made you feel like a bad person about yourself. I'm very compassionate, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that I don't say should not be. Sometimes I do, but often I put up with a lot of things. So, well, let them do their own thing when. The truth of it, and I would say it's letting it pass, but the truth of it is that I would hate. I know they feel terrible already because they're dealing with that emotion anyway. And I would don't want other people to feel terrible.
So what would you say to that little you about that? Because that's when it started.
She says she just doesn't know. She feels quite weak, like she's gone quite floppy.
So
like
and heavy. And tapping into her, and you can pick her up, you can hold her, let her fall into you. And as you were saying earlier, you are not responsible for anyone else's feelings. She is not responsible for anyone else's feelings, only her own, and she can choose something else.
Funny, I can see her in two ways. So she's in the cot and she looks really happy, but there's this weight I feel here, her shoulder. It's like that aspect is now on me. Here, this like real
Can you
heaviness.
lift that off her? Can you move that? We can just tap and keep that clearing. Breathing into that heaviness, this heavy weight across her. Nice deep breaths. Is that starting to shift?
It's moving this heaviness around here and kind of moving around my. It's like I've taken it on for her, out of her.
And how can you transform that?
Baby, she's letting mum and dad have their moment. She's like just getting on with life, you know.
Yeah.
But I have now taken on this energy. It's like this, like thing I've taken it for.
Constricting and heavy and yeah.
It's like it feels like ghostly, really heavy there, and it's like gonna it's there ready to.
So keep tapping with her, all this heaviness, this ghost-like feeling all over your chest, around your neck.
I guess it's a feeling of where.
Okay, just breathing. Keep tapping, keep moving that through, letting it go, lifting that away. She just doesn't need this anymore.
It's not on her, it's just on me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just I've taken it now from.
Okay, so when you focus on her, how is she doing?
She's fine. She's fine.
Great. So looking at this picture with her and her parents, what's happening now?
They are still having their point of conflict, but she is just happily being a baby, really.
Great.
Get on with what they want to get on with, like kicking her legs and stuff. She's like giggling, and they're in their world. They can do what they need to do.
And she knows that she's loved.
Yeah, there's a little element of separation though, which is disconnection.
From them?
Yeah, from them.
Okay.
So she's feeling like this basically because she's disconnected from them.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to feel, actually. She wants to be connected.
So we're coming towards the end of the session today, so I don't want to leave her. So I wonder if there's a kind of resolution we can bring her to at this point.
Yeah.
So you could either bring her to be with you, or you can freeze that picture, you can put her in a bubble, put them in a bubble. What can we do right now?
I think there's just a feeling of that she's still part of them, still loved, even though she lets them do their thing.
And I wonder if there's a judgment in conflict. Maybe the conflict isn't a good thing, or there's something wrong with that. So we can maybe get some acceptance into conflict is inevitable.
Yeah, acceptance that conflict is going to happen.
And doesn't mean you're not loved. Doesn't mean that you're any less.
It doesn't mean connection in that moment that it can't. If she steps away in that moment while they do their thing, that it can't, like 10 seconds later, be reconnected again.
Because some conflict can result in much deeper love, deeper connection. We need to heal those moments of pain, and conflict is a way of showing that difference is there. So actually it's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How is she doing right now?
Just trying to bring in a bit of safety into her. Just bringing her in a colour.
Lovely. Perfect. You can wrap her in a blanket of that colour of safety, of love. Let her know that you're there for her, you're with her.
Yeah.
Great. Lovely. And just check in with the 3-year-old you in the hallway. How's she doing?
She's playing with something. She's better. She's playing with like some cards in the hallway.
Great. And again, we'll come back to her and then bring your attention back to the present day, to you. Just check in with that feeling on your chest, that heaviness. How's that now?
Yeah, it's still quite there.
So let's breathe into that, breathe it out. I wonder if there's a way of kind of lifting that off. Maybe you can store that somewhere. Maybe it can be burnt in the sun or throw it into the sea, bury it in the ground. Just feel this energy.
It's a weight of responsibility.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I can put that out to allow it to go out to the sea.
Perfect. Lovely. Good. How does that feel now?
Yeah, I'm just tuning into I'm not responsible for other people's happiness and just let people get on with their life. I don't need to keep being involved.
Absolutely. Perfect.
Yeah.
Good. And maybe tune into a future you who's cleared this part, who's resolved, who's happy, confident, control. You see yourself there?
Yeah, everyone, like next week, everyone's sat around drinking and smoking, and I'm okay, just sat there. I don't feel this pull.
Great. Just connect with that future you and tell her you've come from the past, you've come for her help. Does she have any advice for you right now?
Yeah, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You're still loved and still part of the community.
Lovely.
Even
Her behaviour has nothing to do with
just being in the moment.
She is enough.
Yeah.
Great. So ask. Oh, perfect. Ask her to step into your body so you can experience what it feels like to be her, to know that you're enough. Just be there. How does that feel?
Good.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely.
Easy.
Lovely. So breathing this ease, this good feeling, breathing it down through your head, through your brain, through every cell, through your body, into your heart. Taking a deep breath, sending this back into your past, forward into your future. So every moment of your life is touched with this feeling that being is enough, this connection, this ease and flow. All the way back and all the way forward into your future. So every moment is touched with this feeling. Everyone you meet can feel it flowing from you. Take your time sending that out and let me know when that feels complete.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Welcome back. How are you doing?
Good. That was
wow.
Good. Really good.
Really, really powerful. It's incredible, isn't it? That dynamic, that pattern, you can just see that.
All those words the same.
Absolutely.
Conflict, responsible for other people's happiness. Yeah.
Powerless to change it. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. So the symptoms are never what the issue is. It's not about cigarettes, it's not about alcohol, it's not about food, it's not about your body. It's about,
it really could be anything, couldn't it? I could have picked up cigarettes and booziness.
Yeah.
Into the things. Yeah. Very interesting. Never been back to a baby before. So that was interesting that she came up.
Yeah, really powerful. And when you get right back to those early pictures, it's really taking the table leg, just everything that's you built on that moment.
I wonder. Yeah, I'm excited to think how this.
See how it unfolds.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. So we'll revisit and see how she's doing next time. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, okay.